Good afternoon, everyone. This is Donnie Bryant. Hope you know that already. And it's a snowy day in the Chicagoland area. So I thought I would take a moment's break to talk to you guys and talk about how I speed up my writing. A couple of ideas that you can use for yourself. They're not secrets, at least two of them probably aren't, but they do work, and I highly recommend each of them. And the other thing I just wanted to make note of, I usually shoot my office. I'm trying to give you a little visual variety, so I'm shooting in a different room. So that's that's my benefit to you for the day. But okay, so I'm only going to talk for a moment here because the longer I talk, the less interesting I think I am. So the first tip I want to share, like I said, is not a secret, but is repurposing stuff that you've already written. No matter what you're trying to work on now, unless it's probably like a dissertation for college or something, you don't have to be 100% original. We talk about emails here, so some of the best email copywriters you know, some of the best marketers you know, or the most prolific ones, they just change the openings of their emails, and then the main body and the transition to the close and the close, they're almost identical, except for they just probably change dates. Basically swipe themselves, and then you only have to think of an opening. And that doesn't even have to be that original, because you can say the same thing in a different way than you've said in the past. The cool thing is the more that you write, the more of an arsenal of content you'll have to use in the future. So, as you continue to write, you'll continue to get faster, not only by practice, but by giving yourself access to a greater store of copy that sounds like you and says what you want it to say. So, like I said, it's not a super secret spy tip or a ninja tip for you guys, but it is one that we maybe don't think about all the time. And people like me, I like to be original. I like to say things that I haven't said before. I like to say things that other people haven't said before. But sometimes when you got to move quickly, it just makes sense to, rip yourself off and say something you've already said. Tip number one. Tip number two is talk it out. You can record yourself talking through a message you want to give and get it transcribed. And if you don't feel like paying somebody to do it, you could do it yourself. Or you can just, after talking it through, you'll probably be more capable or more ready to write it down. So I've given that piece of advice to a ton of people, writing all kinds of different things from, college, like I said, college dissertations, not so much college dissertations, but college papers. Can't figure out how to write it, then talk about it, and you'll give yourself, most of what you need there, and then you just have to clean it up. A guy I know who's writing a book, he just reached out to me for some advice. That's what I told him. You can't find time to write, but you're driving to work every day. You can talk it out on your commute and then transcribe it, and you're going to be 60 or 70% of the way there without taking any time up to actually do the writing. So if you do that, if some people have trouble writing, but they don't have a problem talking, so you can do that. It will speed you up, and you can probably talk while you're doing something else mindless and save yourself some time there. Tip number three, which is the more secret of them, and for me it's huge, and it's just momentum. For example, yesterday, this week I had three things that I wanted to accomplish. One of them for this group here, and then two of them for client work. And yesterday I was distracting myself between all three things and not getting anywhere. So by the time the evening came around, I was just dejected and mad, feeling like I had a totally wasted day. I wasn't productive. I know better than to do that. Focus on something, knock something out the list, take care of something, and get yourself in momentum, get yourself moving, and things begin to flow. At least that's true for me. When I can regain my confidence, regain my mojo or what have you. Like now I'm in motion and I can make this happen. So you just have to do that. I found that momentum is key. And sometimes you have to refer back to what we call the ridiculous crap method, which is if you don't know what to write, don't know what to say, just start saying something. Don't let the blank screen intimidate you. Start writing something, even if it doesn't make sense. You know that nobody's going to see it unless you're typing in front of people. But just type whatever comes to you, and continue doing it until you get into a flow and start arriving at some ideas that you can use for your ultimate purposes. And in so doing, you'll find that the thing that slows you down is getting started. The hurdle of overcoming the non-motion makes it seem like you're writing really slowly, but actually your writing isn't slow. It's just the process of getting to the keyboard with purpose is slowed down. So don't worry about that sometimes. You know where you want to end up, or even if it's kind of generic, I want to write an email today. I have no idea what to say. Okay, well, sit down and pretend it's a journal, or pretend you're chewing somebody out. Get mad and type from your emotions. And sooner than you think, you'll have some sort of rough draft of an idea, and then you can just take off from there. And I found that for me, momentum is everything. And when I don't have it, then I'm pretty worthless. So I try to get into the flow of things, and that improves my mental condition, which improves my my writing. So those are my 3 not so secret tips for writing faster. Hope they're helpful to you. Feel free to leave some comments, and I'll share some more, or answer questions, or you can tell me how goofy I sound, whatever. And I appreciate the interaction. And that's it for now.